Hi there. This is another spy photo report for House of the Dragon from their recent filming in Portugal this past week. The news is that we think we've spotted the adult versions of Daemon Targaryen's twin girls, Baela and Rhaena. Daemon Targaryen played by Matt Smith. These are his twin daughters. They're fraternal twins, not identical twins. The issue is we already pretty much figured out who's playing the young versions of them. That, like you've seen in the other spy photos, everyone's time shifted. There's young versions of the children, which we saw at Laena and Laenor's funeral scene around episode 7. But we know there's an internal time skip after that. So the younger characters, I mean, Emma Darcy is still going to be Rhaenyra Targaryen at the funeral. We saw in the trailer that by that point in time, when Alicent is upset about the fight her son got into, she's played by Olivia Cooke. But you'll have the younger set of child actors in around episode 7 at the funeral. Then the teenagers will be playing them by episodes 9 and 10 after the jump. We'd already figured out from cross-referencing their Instagram follows with things their casting agencies have said of, we're so proud they've gone to this big thing for HBO in Spain we can't talk about. And the spy videos, which were of pretty good quality, of girls who look like them wearing Valyrian silver hair wigs, like descended from Corlys and Daemon and Laena and everything, that we're pretty sure that the young versions of Baela and Rhaena will be played by actresses Shawnee Smethurst and Ava Osei-Gurning. That all these other factors, that they're both biracial actresses, I mean, one of them is half Welsh, all these other contributing factors. I have a separate video on how we found out who the child actors were cast. I'm linking that below. Go see the young versions. But remember a week ago when I made the big combination video of these are all the castings that we know about pretty much from spy photos, I had a question mark next to there should be an adult, well, teenaged version of Baela and Rhaena, but we haven't heard anything about them yet. Except that it was rumored that actress Bethany Antonia had joined the cast because she's also Instagram following so many other people in the cast. She has to be something. And okay, she's a black actress. They've established the Velaryons look mixed race in this. It narrows it down. We think Bethany Antonia is playing teenaged Baela, I mean adult Baela, based on the fact that she most resembles Shawnee Smethurst. Ava has a smaller nose that just facially she looks more like Shawnee. But that's kind of a guess, but she's playing one of them. We have no idea who the second one is. That I've been talking over the spy photo here. We saw spy photos of the cast members walking through the streets of the village outside of Monsanto Castle, and we saw them with their Valyrian wigs. We actually saw 2 shots of this, and it's really braided up in the back. She has really big hair. I don't know who the second one is. Now, because of they're overlapping filming for different timelines, one of my other question marks is who is playing adult Laena, mostly for her funeral scene. That there's a young Laenor and an adult Laenor. Logically, if there's a young Laena who they did announce, there should be an adult Laena, even if just to play it at a funeral. Haven't announced that, and I said there's an outside chance Bethany Antonia might be playing adult Laena for like one episode. If you zoom in on these, does this, I'm side-by-side comparison, does this look like Bethany Antonia to you? I mean, it's blurry, it could be. Then again, Baela and Rhaena are Laena's daughters. Of course, they would cast similar-looking actresses if they could. So, based on resemblance, it's hard to say, well, they're all supposed to look pretty similar. But, yeah, last week when I said that's one of the few ones that we know would with certainty be in Season 1 who we haven't seen any spy photos of yet, I think this must be, the spy photo must be adult Baela and Rhaena. The question is who's playing them. One is probably Bethany Antonia, if you think the spy photo looks like that. The other one, I don't know. And then there's the problem with some people saying, but what if these are their stunt doubles? Come on, do you need to make my life more complicated? But I don't know how soon we're going to get an official announcement on this. They haven't even announced Aegon II and Aemon, even though we have such clear spy photos, it's an open secret. But yeah, this is Baela and Rhaena. They're both dragon riders, but they don't have big dragons. They're juveniles. That they said, well, Baela's dragon is Moondancer. Think of it in terms of how big Drogon was in season 4 or early season 5. That they said this thing could not carry an adult man, but a little girl who weighs like 100 pounds, it could fly for a short distance. But then as the war progresses over 2 years, they say by the middle of the war, she's starting to train it to fly around the castle. So she's got one of the younger, smaller dragons, but she is a dragon rider. And she does stuff later in the war. But you'll see that they're setting up for later. So they both have dragons, and we'll see this not at first. The time will pass in this. Of course, Baela and Rhaena themselves aren't even born by episode 1. You'll see time progressing. So we've got our Baela and our Rhaena. What do you think of their costumes? Costumes. What do you think of their hair? That's the only part of the costume we can see. I'm not really sure what they're doing with this, or this would look like in the final version. I can't tell how it's styled in this. But we got a couple of reports from Monsanto. This is the last one I made. I made one big video, and then I decided, no, it's better to split it by topic. That filming has wrapped in Monsanto, and then we got other stuff that Matt Smith said, other stuff going on. That at first we thought Monsanto might be the Eyrie because it's up in the mountains. Now we realize this is the new Dragonstone set. That the old sets they wanted to use, well, Dragonstone was always mostly interiors anyway. When they had Stannis there in seasons 2 through 4, the exterior they had was a beach in Northern Ireland, but that's just a beach, not ruins and stuff. And that causeway that they introduced in season 7, that's a real causeway, but it's from northern Spain, in the Basque country. And there's some physical thing that happened to the I don't know if it was a rock slide or something, but it wasn't a legal thing, I know. It was a physical thing. They can't go back to film that volcanic beach that Daenerys was walking around on in season 7. That's a real beach, that they physically can't go back to do that, or the causeway that's next to it. But instead, they're filming at this ruined castle up in the central mountains of Portugal, which will be the new Dragonstone, which is a primary location in the series throughout its run. They will keep coming back to this. And you're like, well, we got thrown by, well, it's an island. I didn't think this could be an island because it's up in the mountains. They'll just add that with CGI. I mean, like, how many King's Landing shots were filmed all over Spain, even in the middle of the country? Like, Cáceres is not a coastal city, but they're filming King's Landing for that. And the Blackwater Bay scenes will be filmed somewhere else. When they're filming scenes at the docks, they'll just film in some other part of Spain for that. So by the same thing, like, well, Cáceres isn't near the sea, but it didn't rule it out as the new King's Landing. Fair enough, this is the new Dragonstone, and we saw Baela and Rhaena there. We're trying to narrow down who they're playing. Though, I mean, they'll probably be unknowns or relative unknowns to you guys. I mean, Bethany Antonia has a career, but when we get more confirmation, I'll talk about this. Right now, I just wanted to share the spy photos, and I want to hear what you guys have to think about it.